Our second assignment on Pixteller is going to involve color and gradients, and it's not a big assignment. Here's what you need to do. Once you get to Pixteller, whether you're working on your Chromebook or another computer, that's kind of up to you. If it doesn't automatically log you in, come up here to the top right-hand side. Should be able to click Login. Should be able to do Login with Google. If you were able to create your account during assignment number 1, you should be good. And we are going to just create from scratch here to begin with today. So I'll just click on Create from Scratch right in the middle of the screen. We're ready to go. Here's the first thing that is a required part. There's a handout posted so you can see all this, but here's the first thing that is a required part of this. Change the background. Well, you can change the size if you want to. It's 1080 by 1080. I don't care if you don't change the size. Change the background. All right. Now, this lesson really is about this dialog box that you're looking at right now with all of the color swatches and the different options that are there. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. So, and you'll see it a lot later on as we go into different other parts of this program. So for today, I'm just going to pick something kind of lightish, kind of a light yellowish, tannish kind of thing. That will work for me. You do whatever you want for the background. But that is one of the required elements today. Change the background color and click OK. Don't click the X, click OK. All right, now the next thing. Let's go back to shapes. We did this in yesterday's assignment. I'm going to click on More, and we're going to be exploring colors and linear gradients and radial gradients. So just pick a shape. Doesn't really matter that much what it is. I'll start off with a heart. I'll make it a little bit bigger just for demonstration purposes. There it is. Now, we are, like I said, we're going to concentrate on color today. So over here on the left-hand side, Pixteller assigned kind of a brownish color for that. Probably looking at the background and something contrasting, I'm not sure. But I'm going to click where it says Shape Color, and here's where we're headed. First of all, if you're a person who likes to work with, if you're talking about solid colors, if you like to work with hexadecimal colors, or you like the whole RGB model, red, green, blue, some of you have a lot of experience with things like hexadecimal and RGB. It's all right here. You can do that if you want to. So just future reference, all those controls are right here. But what I want to concentrate on here is the idea of linear gradients and radial gradients. So in the middle of this color box, I'm going to click linear gradient. And there is an assignment made for the gradient, but we're going to play with it here. It's a 2-color gradient right now. At the bottom of there's a bar that runs across the bottom of the sample box, and it has color markers on it. And if you click one of them to select it, you can slide them for one thing. You can change their position on the gradient. But if you click to select it, and then you come up to where it says Edit or Change Color, and then you can pick colors that are off of here, or you can go over here to where it says Advanced, and you've got a very Photoshop-looking color picker over here. You got the rainbow down here, and you can drag around in here, and you click OK. And now that white color stop has been changed to this kind of tealish blue that I picked out. So I could click in the middle here someplace. If I wanted another color stop, I could add as many as I like in there. Just click, click, click. And if I don't like them, I can just select a color stop marker that I have here. And there's a delete option on the box here. So I can hit delete. So I can click a little marker there and hit delete if I've got too many color markers and I don't want all of them. So now I'm just going to, I don't like that brown so much, so I'm going to make a change there. And one of the things that you should catch here, a little bit like Photoshop, if I move my mouse off of the color box, it shows me a little circle where I can sample a color, and I can click OK. So you kind of have that whole eyedropper kind of function going on with this website, which is kind of nice. I think I kind of like that. So all I've done here is I have put a shape on the screen, and I've created a linear gradient that I wanted to put on there. Any kind of linear gradient is okay with me. You can use as many colors as you want. You can have at least 2, but you could use 2 or 3 or 4. They can be whatever colors you want. When you've got it set up with a linear gradient and you're happy and you know it, click OK and you're good. All right, so that's done. I'm going to go back to more shapes here. The next thing we want to take a look at here I'm just going to pop on kind of a circle. This one's got a little bit of a texture around the edge of it, kind of a half-tone dot kind of thing happening around the edge of it. So I'm going to pop that on there. And I'm going to go to color, shape color, and I'm going to go to a radial gradient. Now, you might remember from other things that we've done, the radial gradients kind of radiate out from a central point and again, involve some different colors. So first of all, the central point can be moved. You can move that around if you want to. That makes the difference in the way it looks. And the same things are true here as what you had on the linear gradient. You can add other color stops in here, which you can select the color stop and say edit and change, and I could make in, and I'll say okay there. And now you see that I've got this gradient, looks like it's going to be white, orange, and blue. And if I didn't want a color stop, I could select it and come up here and say delete. And maybe I want to, I'm going to throw in a new color stop there, change that color, make it more of a red. And remember, you can go to advanced and you've got this very Photoshop looking color picker over here as well. So now I have kind of made this almost like it's a burning hot kind of thing. It's white hot and it's orange and it's red, and there we go. Okay. So that's a radial gradient, and I would like for you to just slap a shape on there and fill it with some kind of radial gradient. Whatever you come up with is going to be okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that, and that is done. Your final thing today that I want you to know about just a small thing that I want you to know how to do, because it'll come up with other things other than just shapes, and that is opacity. So what I'm going to ask you to do here is get a shape on here. That shape is pretty much the same color as the background. And I'm just going to use solid colors here. I'll make that one green and click OK. And then I'm just going to go back to more shapes, and I'll get another. These are rounded rectangles, so I got another rounded rectangle. And I'm going to. So here's what I want you to do on this last little thing. What do we do so far? A linear gradient, a radial gradient. Now I've got two shapes that are solid colors, okay? File that away first. Solid colors. Overlapping. All right, file that away. Now, I want to take the top shape, and I could change the color of that if I don't like that black. I could change the color of it, but really I can show you what I want to show you. I'm going to go over here to shape color, and the thing that I want you to do, it's just knowing where it is. Opacity is right here. When you're working with a shape color, you can drop the opacity of a shape. And so now that shape, when it's laying over that yellowish background, it just kind of begins to look a brownish color because I've lowered the opacity of it. But what I want to see on yours is that I can see through that top shape and see the back shape behind it. Right? That's what we've got here. I lowered the opacity of that top shape so I can see through it. And I might just for kicks and giggles, change the color of that there. I made it more orange than black. And so now maybe you can see that a little bit better. That I can see through the orange and I can see that green shape hiding underneath it because I lowered the opacity of the orange. And I want you to do a thing like this. Two shapes overlapping, lower the opacity of the top one, click OK. This is done. That's all the assignment. So I'm going to come up here top right and I'm going to name it. I'll just call this, take out what's in there, and I'll just call it colors and gradients. All right, cool, great. And I'm going to click save image, and it's going to spin, 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 and save. And then what I would do now is just go ahead and go download, scroll that down a little bit. This is just like yesterday. I would download the image. I'm going to do a PNG. Download PNG is fine with me. Yay. And this is where, and I say this all the time, sorry, but if you're working on your Chromebook, it should download onto your Google Drive, I would think, or maybe just through the MyFile. Somebody can let me know about that. I'm not working on my Chromebook, so it downloaded into the default downloads folder of my computer. Then I would have to go to Google Classroom and turn in the file. This is not a big complicated thing today. I want a linear gradient, a radial gradient, and an example where you lowered the opacity of a shape and I can see through it. All right, that's it. Off you go. Fist bump.